Just how worried is the United States about North Korea's nuclear program? It's clearly concerned about the threat it poses to global security, but what about a direct danger to America? Sounds far-fetched. Not really, if you consider the latest move by US Defense Secretary Robert Gates. He's approved the deployment of an anti-missile radar and defense system to Hawaii.
We're obviously watching the situation in the north with respect to missile launches very closely, and we do have some concerns if they were to launch a missile to the west in the direction of Hawaii. I think we are in a good position, should it become necessary, to protect America.
The decision was prompted by fears that the North Koreans could be preparing for another ballistic missile test, one that could be launched across the Pacific and in the direction of the US island territory. For reaction in Hawaii, Julian Keane turned to local journalist Daniel de Gracia.
Well, there's certainly a lot of fear, and there's a lot of shock and anger among the locals here in Hawaii. Hawaii is unique in that it was attacked by the Japanese during World War II, and we're the only state that was actually directly attacked by a foreign adversary. And so the people here are very sensitive to our neighbors here in the Pacific. We're very sensitive to threats of war. And being an island where there's no place the people can actually run to without actually getting on a boat or getting on an aircraft, there's certainly a lot of terror when the topic of nuclear war or war in general comes up.
Why is there anger? After all, if the US government believes there is a threat from North Korea, isn't it right that it should respond?
Well, it is right that we should respond, but I think a lot of people are angry because they feel that we've reached this point because of decades of poor foreign policy.
One would assume the US authorities would always have pinpointed Hawaii as a place which could eventually come under threat, but I wonder whether the people on the island, for them, they're sort of waking up to the news in a sense.
We certainly are. Until recently, it wasn't really real in their minds because Korea wasn't as proactive in flexing its military might. It had been a long time since the last missile test by North Korea, and certainly the recent nuclear detonation that they performed was something that definitely woke a lot of people up from their slumber.
I don't know whether you know how these sort of things work when military hardware like this is deployed on the island. Do the local authorities, are they concerted at all?
Well, the local authorities are very definitely concerned about this. Our Governor Linda Lingle, is very concerned about the threat of war, as I understand it. She's been in communication with Washington, expressing her concern about the threat of a nuclear conflict.
So what's going to happen now? These missiles, anti-missile defense system is going to be installed somewhere on the island?
I certainly don't think so. I think that that's something, unfortunately, that's probably said by Washington to make us feel safe, but actually has no basis or reality and truth. First and foremost, before any of this happened, Secretary of Defense Robert Gates approved a cut in spending for the Missile Defense Agency, which totaled to $1.4 billion. This is certainly not behavior that is consistent with policy of defending the United States from missile attack. And certainly we've seen a lot of cutbacks in other missile systems and other defense systems. And so, for Gates to say that he's going to defend Hawaii, I would take that with a grain of salt. The question is, what exactly would he defend Hawaii with?
Hawaii journalist Daniel de Gracia.